Have you ever escaped a toxic relationship? The arguments stopped, the criticism stopped, the manipulation also stopped, and the person is no longer in your life. And yet, your body still reacts as if the danger is standing right in front of you. You check your phone and you feel anxious. Someone takes a little longer to reply, and your mind starts creating stories. A friend sounds slightly different on a phone call, and suddenly you are wondering if you have done something wrong. Life is finally peaceful, but you are not. And if that sounds familiar, then this video might explain something that nobody explained to me years ago. And it's not about overthinking, it's not about being weak, and it's not because you're broken. It's because emotional abuse doesn't only affect your relationship with another person, it literally changes your relationship with the present moment. And that is where mindfulness becomes powerful. But probably not in the way you have been told. So stay with me because there is one shift that completely changed how I understood healing. And if you are a South Asian living in the UK or abroad, I think this conversation is going to feel especially familiar. Let me tell you a story. Imagine a man who lived next to a railway track for 20 years. Every single day a train passed his house, and the noise was loud. The walls shook, the windows rattled. For years he complained about it. And then one day he moved to a beautiful, quiet countryside home. No trains, no noise, no vibrations, absolute peace. But every night he still woke up expecting to hear a train. Not because the train was there, because his mind had learned to expect it. Many people recover from emotional abuse physically before they recover emotionally. The relationship ends, but the anticipation remains. The criticism ends, but the self-doubt remains. The chaos ends, but the vigilance remains. And here is the first big realization. Healing is not learning how to survive the storm. Healing is realizing the storm has already passed. Now, most people never hear that distinction because after emotional abuse, the problem isn't always what is happening. The problem is what your mind expects to happen next. And that explanation quietly steals your peace. Now, here is something I see often with South Asians. Many of us didn't just learn this in relationships, we learned it growing up. We learned to scan rooms, to notice the moods, to avoid conflict, to keep everyone happy, to be the good daughter, the good son, the good wife, the good husband, the good employee, the good person. We became experts at monitoring everyone else's emotional state, but almost strangers to our own. And then one day someone asks, "What are you feeling right now?" And we genuinely don't know. Not because we don't have feelings, because we have spent years paying attention to everyone else's feelings. That's why mindfulness after emotional abuse is different. It isn't about sitting cross-legged and emptying your mind. It's about finally returning your attention to yourself, maybe for the first time. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever walked in a room and immediately sensed tension? Nobody said anything. Nobody explained anything. Yet somehow you knew. People call it intuition. Sometimes it is. But sometimes it's years of training yourself to detect emotional danger. You became emotionally hyper aware. And while that skill may have protected you once, it can exhaust you later. The same skill that helped you survive can actually become the thing that stops you from feeling safe. That realization changed everything for me because many people are trying to heal while still constantly scanning for danger. It's like trying to rest while keeping one eye open. And here is the strange thing. Mindfulness doesn't ask you to stop thinking. It asks you to notice what is actually happening right now. Let me give you an example. Right now, you are actually being rejected. Or are you remembering what rejection felt like? Are you actually in danger? Or are you preparing for danger that hasn't happened? Are you actually being criticized? Or are you replaying criticism from years ago? That distinction is tiny, but it's life changing. Because emotional abuse trains us to live in anticipation. But mindfulness, it gently brings us back into reality. You know, a few years ago, I had a client who told me something I will never forget. She said, "Nothing bad is happening in my life, but I can't relax." And I think many people watching this will understand that sentence, isn't it? Because nobody sees that struggle. Your life may look successful. You may have a good job, a loving family, a stable relationship, yet internally you are waiting for something to go wrong. You are waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for disappointment, for criticism, for abandonment. And that waiting becomes a full time job. Peace doesn't feel peaceful when you have become accustomed to chaos. And for some people, peace feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels unsafe. Now, think about that for a moment. Not because there is something wrong with you, but because your nervous system learned a different language. So, here is a simple mindfulness experiment. It's not a technique, it's just an experiment. The next time you feel anxious, just pause and ask, what is happening right now? What is happening right now in this exact moment? Not tomorrow, not next week, or not what happened 5 years ago. Right now. Often you will discover something really surprising. The threat exists in your imagination, not in reality. And when you begin noticing that pattern repeatedly, something really shifts. You stop giving every fearful thought the status of truth. And this brings me to what I believe is the deepest lesson. See, many people think mindfulness is about calming down. I don't. I think mindfulness is about telling the truth about this moment, the truth about what is actually happening, and the truth about what belongs to the present and what belongs to the past. Because emotional abuse blurs those boundaries, mindfulness restores them. And if you're watching this and thinking, that sounds exactly like me, I want you to know something. You do not have to spend the rest of your life reacting to old emotional patterns. You do not have to stay trapped in survival mode. And you do not have to keep carrying emotional weight that was never yours to carry. Healing is possible, not because you force yourself to be positive, but because you gradually learn to experience life as it is today, not as it was yesterday. And if you are an NRI, a South Asian living in the UK or anywhere around the world, and you are ready to understand why these emotional patterns keep repeating and how to finally break free from them, I have created a free live masterclass for our community. It's a space where we explore emotional healing, relationship patterns, self worth, and practical ways to create lasting change. The details are below this video. Come and join us because healing becomes so much easier when you realize you are not only one walking this path. And before you leave, I want to ask you one question. What is one thing in your life that is peaceful today, but your mind still struggles to trust? Leave it in the comments. I read everyone. So, sometimes the answer to that question becomes the beginning of healing itself. So thank you so much for listening to me today. I'm going to see you again with another series, another episode, and stay tuned till then. Bye for now.